over the years, I've learned what recovery gear, what tools, what equipment I need. And usually I bring too much, but with the 2-drawer systems that I now have fully loaded, I think I've simplified it enough to where I'm confident in what I have, but I don't have too much. Drop down below if you have any suggestions that I might be missing or if this video was helpful. A little story, me and Matt one time got stuck and a chainsaw came in handy. And this was our first time carrying a chainsaw. And you'd think, well, probably a tree fell down in front of you on the trail, but no, a tree got lodged in between my rear tire and frame and we could not get it out. We had to cut it up into little pieces and then we were able to like hammer the log out. So let me know if you have a weird story like that where a piece of gear that you didn't think you were gonna use came in handy. Now, let's get on to the video. All right guys, so we will start with the door here. I got 2 different medical kits. They both have everything you'd need and they're nicely positioned here, quick to get to. And we'll move on to the first drawer. So this is what I'm carrying for 2021. I'm gonna take some stuff out, probably add some stuff, but basically we'll just go over it. So I usually throw in my impact driver just if I do come across any problems. It's quick and easy to solve them. This is a jump starter, so I can start the vehicle if the battery dies. This impact set is all 1/2 inch, which is really convenient. So you just toss it right on the impact and you're good to go. Extensions, swivel, everything you need. I'll link all this stuff down below, but I really like this for the price. I've beat the shit out of it and it's good so far. I'll throw that up there. Just some work gloves, tire deflator, super important. My winch controller, some extra gloves, extra walkie-talkies. And that's kind of some of the gear I have in so far. It's really sweet. Got it from Canadian Tire. It's a little cutting board. So if this is full with a knife on the inside. So I use this a lot. I usually just have it up here when I'm cooking. And then we'll go onto the stove. So it's just a little Coleman from Canadian Tire. You'll probably find it at Walmart in the States. It's been well used. It smells terrible, all greasy. I gotta clean it, but yeah, I usually have this on here and have the drawer system in, so it's a little bit more secure. But once I have the drop down table, I'll have more like cooking space. That's why that other cutting board is nice right now. All right, so the rest of the stuff in this drawer, I just have some super long zip ties here. In the other drawer, I have some metal zip ties and hose clamps I'll show you. But I thought I'd just give you a closer look at the power pack. So it comes with the clamps you need and then all of the charging ports. Hey again. What do you want? This is where you plug in the jumper cables. It's got an emergency light and then like all your inputs and outputs to charge iPads, laptops, camera gear. You got a car charger, you got a household charger. And then moving on, I thought I'd give a closer look at this. We just have the, this was off Amazon, super cheap, but it works well. You can adjust the spring inside to hit the exact PSI you want when you're airing down. So you can just throw all 4 of these on, and then almost by the time you've put the 4th one on, you go to the first one and the tire's aired down. So super easy, and then you can double check with the gauge here. And then let me just pack some of this stuff up and we'll move on to the top and then we'll move on to the right drawer. All right, so moving on, these are called Go Treads. They're like expandable traction boards that you can put down. I'll just open it up quickly for you guys, but they work awesome. I've used them a couple times so far, and they just expand and you put them down on the ground as you're driving, and they can kind of like move based on what obstacle you're trying to get over or get out of. And yeah, they work great. They pack up into this nice container. And then moving on, this is just a like emergency car care kit. So more jumper cables, like space blankets, extra tools and stuff. I probably don't need this at this point. I'll probably give it to a family member. But after that, we have this bad boy. This is a compressor from Desert Armor, and it is a beast. I'll just say that. So, right, so this is the Desert Armor air compressor that I've just recently got and been running. It does 300 liters per minute. So you can convert that to CFM if you want. It has this super nice quick disconnect hose with a built-in gauge. So that's awesome. The last thing is just the winch dampener. We can go over the winch, but yeah, so this is obviously very handy and safe to have. And then finally we'll go in. So I got these handles that I wanted off Amazon. I can link those too, but they're lockable. So all my camera gear is protected if I need to leave it in the vehicle. Obviously I don't try to, but then as well as everything that's in here. All right, so this is the heavy drawer. I just went to like the local hardware store and got a lot of like spare nuts and bolts. We have a bunch of extra wrenches, extra sockets that I use that are super common, washers, everything like that. It's nice to get one of these little storage containers that keeps everything from getting mixed up. Next I have just some like WD-40 spare fluids. We have ATF fluid for like the power steering. And then in here is just more tools. You never have enough tools. So we just have more wrenches, needle nose pliers, ratchets, scissors, electrical tape, vice grips, hammer, longer screwdrivers, hose clamps, metal zip ties, everything good, everything necessary in this one. And then I'm running out of room. Just some shop towels and toilet paper, which came in handy the second last time we were off-roading. I had to run into the bushes to do you know what. So we have in this one, it's nice that these fit perfectly in here. There's lots of options, I'm sure. All right, so in here we have the synthetic rope that we use to pull out the bus, as well as probably hundreds of other vehicles. Matt's been using this for a long time. I just got one. And then to go with the synthetic rope, which is easier on the vehicle pulling and the vehicle being pulled as it stores all the energy, we have soft shackles, which are also safe to use. You can always, in an emergency, you could wrap them around like a car's lower control arm or something that doesn't have a recovery point. But in any situation, they are definitely safe to have. And then a shackle to put on like the Red Dog Fabrication front bumper. So in a future video, we're gonna go over all the recovery gear soon in greater detail. But for right now, I just thought I'd show you kind of what I have. Soft shackles, kinetic rope, hard shackles, and then a tree saver for the winch. But basically, we'll show you guys everything in more detail and go over how to use it, especially like the exhaust, what is it called?
The exhaust and air jack.
All right, so the last thing in this drawer, it's pretty long. I'd say it's about a 30, both are 30-inch drawers. Some of it's down by the fire right now, but I had a hatchet in here. I have a saw, and then I have my hitch receiver. This one comes up. It's a 5-ton capacity, so I've never had an issue with it, but it is nice to go to like a closed system. Same for the front winch. I'm gonna be getting the Agency 6 front winch shackle so I can run like an all fully closed system because that's safer, but that's good for the rear for now. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, I got the fridge. It's from Alpacool. I'll link it down below. It's a great little unit. I can get enough food to last a couple days for me and like someone else. I always keep cold beverages in there and food for when I'm doing photography shoots. Lastly, the side panel on either side, there's stuff stored. This one, nothing to worry about, but in here we have just some SOG, like knife, shovel, hatchet, machete. Never know what you need to cut down. And then lastly, we have the fire extinguisher. So it's easy to get to. Just quickly flip that up. And yeah, that's all the goodies stored in here. It's nice having these flaps that fold down. You can kind of hide stuff, and it's dead space. You might as well utilize it. Super happy with the drawer system and everything I have for gear for 2021. This is just a brief overview. If you have any questions, link them down below. One of the things I wanted to touch on that I didn't put in the video that I'm going to be adding that I thought of recently is a bunch of electrical stuff. I have it in like my garage, but I think carrying some stuff or duplicating it would be helpful. So first is this little kit that I got. It just has heat shrink electrical tape. and a bunch of different like connectors, and it comes with this wire stripper. So that would be helpful. This is just a test probe, also helpful for checking power to fuses. I also carry spare fuses now, which is very helpful. And then getting a little bit more technical, you could also bring a little soldering iron to fix any wiring issues that you may be having. Obviously, you need your corresponding solder. But yeah, I already have one in the Lexus. This is just like my other little guy here. A voltmeter isn't a bad idea if you know how to use one. There's a little bit of a simpler tool I'll link below that I like a lot better that Dirt Lifestyle Nate showed in one of his videos. Because a voltmeter can be a little confusing at first to some people. And then lastly, I just carry some spare wire. This is 20 gauge. I usually have like 18 gauge, 16 gauge. Just carry a little bit in case I need to fix something. And then JB Weld can be super helpful. This is plastic bonder. I just used up the rest of my metal bonder in the garage. But honestly, one of each isn't a terrible idea. And then gasket maker can also come in handy. So those are just a few more things that I think I'll be adding. I might buy some duplicates so I have some just in the garage and then also in the Lexus. But no matter what vehicle you have, especially if it's older, having some stuff to fix electrical, I think, is crucial. The only other thing I can think about is maybe bringing a drill as well, because I already have my impact driver, but having a drill could come in handy if you also bring some drill bits if you needed to make new holes for something, or kind of jerry-rig something to work. But other than that, I think that pretty much covers everything. A little bit of recovery, a little bit of camping, cooking, tools, a lot of tools in this video, but that's kind of what I like. And if you're camping, obviously you're gonna need more stuff like sleeping bags and a tent or a hammock or a rooftop tent or something like that. But overall, I think that pretty much sums everything up. Thanks for watching, everyone. Next week we will be doing the Sherpa roof rack install and testing it out off-road. So stay tuned next week and take it easy, everyone.